Okay, when I say hence, keyword hence means that you have to use answer from the previous part. Any other method is not accepted. So use the answer in part B, which we found that it was n plus 1 divided by 3. So set that to be equal to 13824. Okay, so find the value of n. First, we need to get rid of the cube. You get rid of the cube by taking cube root on both sides. So n plus 1 is 24, subtract 1 on both sides. So it's 23. Okay, now, question 8. I think some of you had issues with this. This was covered during your HDL period. Okay, so we did not go through this interest in class. That could be why some of you were unsure. So I'm going to put it on your simple interest. This is the default. If it didn't say anything, then it's just simple interest. I equals to P or T over 100. This, memorize. Memorize it. This is already in your books. I for simple interest, where T will be our principal, which is the amount, original amount. Loan or depositor, depending on the scenario. This is the original amount that you loan from the bank or you deposit in the bank, or refers to the interest rate without percent, without the percent, and T will be the number of years. Okay, so why did I emphasize without percent symbol? Because R over 100 is the percent for the rate. When we say percent, we divide by 100. In my formula, I already have divided by 100. So you cannot put percent in R. That is the key. So let's start with part A. Down payment should not be an issue. Down payment is 20% of $3,600. Part B. Calculate total interest incurred over 2 years. So this is the situation. Sarah buys a laptop, but Sarah doesn't have $3,000 with her, but she desperately needs the laptop. So she only has enough to pay for the down payment of $600, and she walks away with the laptop. There is no such deal that is so good. Pay $600 for $3,000 laptop. So she still owes a certain amount of money. How much does she owe at this point in time after paying down payment? So she still owes $2,400. Makes sense, right? Pay 600, you owe 2,400. Hey, you're gonna have to pay back the $2,400. So is the retailer gonna be so good to say, you take your time, you take your time every month, you pay a little bit until you pay your 2,400. Are they gonna be so good to you? No, they're gonna charge you interest. They're gonna say, hey, if you cannot pay me the $3,000 now, sure, you pay a deposit to prove that you really want this laptop, $600, and then you take your time to pay. However, there's a catch. You're gonna pay me interest every month, such that at the end of the total 2 years, at the end of 2 years, the amount that Sarah forks out to pay for the laptop is gonna be more than $3,000. The total is eventually gonna be more than $3,000. Well, that's the trade-off, isn't it? You don't have money to pay one, so the trade-off is you pay extra. That's the interest. It's gonna cost you more than $3,000 eventually, but you get to take your time to pay over 2 years. Okay, so what is then the interest that she has to pay over 2 years. And that's where our formula comes in. The interest is given by principal times the rate times the duration divided by 100. Application, not difficult. Identifying what those letters represent could be a challenge for you, but with practice, it is also not going to be difficult. I'm going to do part B in this space over here so that you still can refer to the question. Part B, interest. According to the formula, it starts with P. P for principal. Principal is the amount that is either loaned or deposited. In this case, did she deposit money or did she loan money? What is the situation over here? Did she like borrow money from somebody or did she deposit money into a bank? In this scenario, which one is more correct? It is kind of like a loan, isn't it? She kind of took a loan from the retailer. She owed them money. That is the principal. How much did she loan from them? Was it $3,000? No. She paid $600 already. So she kind of owed them $2,400. That is our principal. $2,400 for the P value times the R, interest rate. R. How much is it? It says 5%. Look at what I wrote about. 5 for the value of R without the percent symbol. Why? Because there's a divide by 100 later on. So put in the 5. Next is to multiply by T, which is the duration in the number of years. So duration, number of years, 2 years, divided by 100. And this gives us the answer straight away. 24 times 10, $240. This is the extra that she needs to pay over 2 years, $240. Okay, so the extra that she needs to pay is $240. Do you really understand what's happening in this question? The scenario is that $3,000 laptop, not enough money. Pay $600, take the laptop away. Every month, need to pay extra, need to pay installment. But we are not just paying a total of 2,000 or 2,400 plus 600 altogether. We're going to pay $600 plus 2,400 plus interest of $240. So that's the total amount that she has to pay. So calculate the monthly installment. This will be the extra to pay for the convenience of taking the laptop without paying the full price at the start. So the total amount that she needs to pay eventually is 3,000 plus 240. That's the situation. Can I say one more time? Huh? In summary, everything that she pays will be 3,000 plus $240. Next part says calculate monthly installment. How much is she going to pay per month? If there isn't any interest to pay, if the retailer is very kind, say hey, no interest, just pay the remaining over 2 years. Then it will be very simple, isn't it? $2,400 divided by 2 years, which is 24 months. Every month just pay $100 only lah. But they are not so nice to you. They charge you interest. How much? Total $240 after interest. So how much exactly do we need to pay per month? So a few ways that you can do it, but it will still end up being the correct answer if your working is correct. So I'm just going to do part C over here on the right hand side. Total payable over 2 years. How much does she have to pay over 2 years? 2,400. This is what she owe, right? 2,400 plus the interest.
240. I'm not talking about the deposit. She paid the deposit $600 on the picture already. She still owes $2,400 to be paid over 2 years plus interest of $240. So she still needs to pay $2,640 over 2 years. Then how much does she have to pay per month? Monthly installment would then be $2,640 over 24. That's all. $110. Okay. Instead of the usual just $100 only, because 100 times 24 is 2,400. Instead of just $100 a month, she needs to pay extra $10 every month. That $10 is the interest. So any questions at this point? Any queries? Then what do you think? You want to be a businessman? You want to be the guy selling the laptop and charging interest? Not bad, all right. For a $3,000 laptop, for this reason, you end up getting extra $240. Isn't that a good deal? But over 2 years now. And the drawback is that as the person selling, you don't get the good feeling of getting $3,000 at the start. You get it? $3,000 at the start is good, isn't it? But if you can delay the payment, so that's delayed gratification, you get extra $10 every month, which is not bad also. So these are really some considerations that you should have when you go shopping with your parents. If they need to buy a fridge, they need to buy a big item, a washing machine, things that cost hundreds of dollars. Go and look at the installment plan. If the installment plan says 0% interest, then is that a good deal? It is a good deal for you. 0% interest. You free up your cash. You don't have to pay upfront everything. But really, would there be 0% interest? Maybe have lah. You go and look at the good deals, huh? Okay, next one. Exchange rate between Sing dollar and Thai baht. $1.10 is 22 baht on a particular day. Change 520 Sing dollars, amount in baht. So this one should not be a problem. Does anybody need me to go through this? Yes, you need? Okay. $1.10 equals to 22 baht. So what about 520? Oh, okay, so nobody needs to part A, huh? I'll skip this then. Part B, Jane spent 9,000 baht during a trip, changed the remaining amount back to Sing dollar, but the exchange rate is different. You notice that the exchange rates are different. Do you understand how exchange rate works? You go to Causeway Point, basement 1, near the escalator. You see the exchange rate over there, right? Money changer. I thought about this when I was a kid. What happens if I take 100 Sing dollars? I go to him, I change that 100 Sing dollars to ringgit, for example. Then I get the amount in ringgit, I immediately change it back to Sing dollar. Why get my $100 back? What? Will I get my $100 back? Instantly, I take the ringgit, I change back to Sing dollar. Possible. Now, let's think about the scenario. If I take Sing dollar 100, I change to ringgit, then I take the ringgit, I immediately change everything back to Sing dollar, I get $100 again. The person, does he earn anything? Doesn't earn anything. Why do you want to do business like this? So what is the more logical? Okay, but what about the other scenario? I take my $100 Sing dollar, I change to ringgit. If asking the ringgit, I take the ringgit, I change back to Sing dollar, I get more than $100. Possible? Not possible lah. How to do business like this, right? I give you $100, I get back more than $100. How to do business? It's gonna go broke. So there's no such thing. The final scenario is my $100, give it to him, I get ringgit. Immediately I change it back, I get less than $100. So effectively, the money changer, earns some money. That is the reality. Okay, so Jovan is saying, wait for the value to increase, then you change, right? That is why at the start of the question, I say immediately I change it back. Before the exchange fluctuates. Hey, so you know that the Malaysian ringgit compared to Sing dollar, it is fluctuating, right? About 2-3 years ago, it was 1 Sing dollar to 2 point something ringgit. But now, what is it? It is 1 Sing dollar to approximately 3 ringgit. What does that mean? What does that mean? So this means that if you travel to Malaysia frequently, but it doesn't happen now, COVID. If you travel to Malaysia frequently, is it a better idea to change Sing dollar to ringgit 3 years ago? Or is it better to change Sing dollar to ringgit now? Now better. The same 1 Sing dollar last time gives you $2 something, 2 point something ringgit. That same $1 now gives you 3 ringgit. You can buy more in Malaysia. Hey, so Jane spent 9,000 baht. She has a remainder of 1,400 baht. And now change it back to Sing dollar. 23.50 baht equals to Sing dollar 0.85. So Glenn, this is for you. In Sing dollar, 1,400 baht must be, draw the arrow. If you are still not convinced about the usefulness of this arrow, then there really isn't anything much we can do to help you already. We use it all the time. 0.85 divided by 23.5 times 1400, which will get you 50.64. Okay, now what happened? Due to the new exchange rate, she made a loss by changing the remaining baht to Sing dollar. Expected lah. When you change and change, you will keep losing money. So express the loss as a percentage of the original sum of money before the trade. Express the loss. So what is the loss actually? How much did she lose? Now, original exchange rate was $1.10 equal 22 baht. So the leftover using this exchange rate, based on this, $1.10, 1.10 is 22 baht. Wait, let me switch it on. 22 baht equals to $1.10. So we had a leftover of how much? 1,400 baht equals to 1.1 divided by 22 times 1400. She was supposed to get back $70. This $70 is the amount she's supposed to get back under first exchange. Okay? Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Unfortunately, after the trip, the exchange rate changed and she only got back $50.64. So do you understand the situation? The situation is, if only she didn't change so much money. If only she changed less money, then she wouldn't lose money. So what is the amount lost in this case? She lost $19.36. Who did she lose it to? She lost it to the money changer. Okay, now as a percentage of the original. So this one, no explanation required. Divide by original times 100%. Okay, anybody need more time? This will be uploaded onto Google Classroom as well. Next one. Okay, class. Also, another question, another topic that was covered during HBL. And judging from the questions asked yesterday during lesson, I think some of you are still not sure. So this is a recap. What does GST stand for? Goods and services tax. Okay, now, as a consumer in Singapore, as a person who goes out and buy things, do you want GST to be high or low? You want it to be low. Who wants the GST to be high? Yeah, Craig got it correct. Government wants the GST to be high. Why? Who gets the GST? Yeah, government gets the GST. But government gets the GST to build buildings for you, to maintain the lights for you, to pay the policemen in Singapore, to pay the armed forces, to pay the teachers. So all the revenue is used to pay for all these public goods. Now, they are taxing you for goods and services every time you buy something. Let's say you go to Toys R Us, you buy a toy as a gift for your friend, whatever. Then you need to pay GST, 7%, on top of what is on the price tag. However, when it comes to a meal in a restaurant, you have to pay the price of the plate of chicken rice, for example, expensive chicken rice. Let's say it's $10. You still need to pay extra 10% of service charge to the person who is serving you. And then you pay a total of $11 already, because 10% of $10 is $1. Total $11. The government now comes in and says, I will tax you 7%. Is the 7% on the goods or the service or combined? Listen carefully. GST, is the government taxing you on the $10 for the goods, or is he taxing you on the $1 for the service, or is he taxing you for both? Both. That's in the name already. GST, taxing both the goods and the service charge. Therefore, the total bill originally it was $67. Total after service charge. Okay, watch. Don't copy this down. Don't copy this down. This is very long, but I want to show you how it works. The total after the service charge is 1.1 times the original 67. There should be questions for some of you wondering, where did the 1.1 come from? Do you know the answer? 110 divided by 100. Why 110? 10% what? Original 100% plus 10%, you get 110. So 1.1 times 67. That gives us 73.7. Don't copy this yet. Next, GST comes in. Total after GST. 1.07 times 73.7. Do you know why 1.07? 107%. 1.07 times the previous answer, you get 78.859. Then you round it off to 78.86 2 dp. This is the long method. What is the short method? There is a short method. Recommended. Recommended. Total. Okay, watch. I'm only going to say once. Instead of the huge chunk on the left-hand side, one step only. The total is, and you pay attention to what I'm going to say, 110%. Okay, I switch it on. 107% This is the GST. 107% of its times of the 110%, 1.1. So what this means is 107%, the GST included, of the 110%, which is the service charge included, times the original, 67. Press calculator, 1.07, 1.1 times 67. 78.859. Same. 78.86. So when you go out for a meal, if you ever need to verify the calculation, how much do you need to pay? You take 1.07 times 1.1 times the price in the menu. That is the amount to pay. Question. Is this the same as 1.17 times 67? Is this the same as 1.17 times 67? Yes or no? Press calculator and see for yourself. 1.17 times 67. Same or different? Same or different? Different. The one in red is a misconception by many Singaporeans. Many Singaporeans grow up thinking that they are supposed to take 1.17 times 67. When they go and pay, they eat in a group. Different people order different things, right? We don't just take the bill and divide by the number of people. Maybe somebody ate a lobster. Somebody ate only fried rice. Can't expect the guy who paid for fried rice to pay the same amount as the guy who ate the lobster, isn't it? So you take an individual item, you calculate. But if you calculated by using 1.17, then it is not fair already. You should be taking 1.07 times 1.1 times your value. This is wrong. Okay, the one in red is wrong. Okay, now the remaining questions, the answers will be posted online. If you need help, ask me. Okay, I'll just show you the answer. But part B first, 70.97. Last question, total amount paid as shown 169,814.4. Find the extra cost of buying as a percentage, 1.08. Annual interest rate, 0.36.